final boarding call for all remaining passengers. Please now make your way to the gate. The podcast is about to begin.
Welcome to another Let's Talk About Travel podcast. And today my special guest is Cal Sindhu from Oceania Cruises. Cal is the Business Development Manager for the UK. So big area. Welcome to the show, Cal.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming up from
Birmingham
today. Yeah. I really appreciate it. I'm really making Cal work though, because I've got him working all day. We're doing a podcast and then we're doing a client event. So, there's no such thing as a free lunch. So making him work today. But thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And before we go on to talk about Oceania Cruises, which I'll thoroughly enjoy talking about because I was lucky enough to be on the ship just a few months ago. So we'll talk about that in a second. Tell us a little bit about Cal. So how did you get into travel, first of all?
I've got to go back a long time now.
A long time.
I love travelling. It's one of those things I think everybody's got to do. Look, holidays, spending time with family, going off to do different stuff. But I think my kind of like real calling was when I was travelling myself on my own family holidays and I wanted to go and do stuff. I always wanted to do travel as a kind of travel education or work. So I got a job with Thomas Cook. Went to work overseas, was my first role that I started over.
Were you a rep?
I was a holiday rep.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I was in Mallorca and Lanzarote, Tenerife. And then I don't know why, I think I just grew up a bit. Because you do, don't you? You kind of think, I want something better. So
that's a short-lived career, I think, but a great way to get into it.
Look, you can go on and do it for years, but there's only so many kind of like nights out and that you can do.
Your liver can cope with.
Or like transfers and stuff. So then I started flying. And in between kind of doing that, what was great back then is that you could do like a role exchange program. So you kind of like got to keep your service. So you got to go off and do your overseas repping or something, and then worked in a retail shop in the winter months. So I got a job with Thomas Cook in the retail side, and then did that for a few months. And then I was like, I want to spread my wings a little bit more. And then I started flying as cabin crew. So I did cabin crew. You've
actually done it all then.
I have, yeah. Uh-huh. So airline, then for the summer months, and then did that for quite a few years. And then obviously back in the store. And then I think that's where my passion grew from selling holidays. So I remember the good old days when there was like groups of holidays and like Club 18 to 30s and then all your cruise holidays. And I really worked with the team to kind of learn that experience and knowledge. And again, I did that for so many years. And then I had a little bit of a break once I decided obviously things weren't going to be around for much longer. As you know, the industry always changes. So I then went to work for a tailor-made company called Travel Bag. And I was with them for almost, 12, 13 years. And again, absolutely loved the role, loved the diversity, meeting customers face-to-face, selling holidays, making people's dreams come true. And again, my love for cruise grew stronger. And I absolutely adore cruising. And here I am with Oceania Cruises now. What's
not to love about the cruise industry, though? I mean, my heart is absolutely, my background before LEH Travel was very much within the cruise industry. So it's only a natural progression that LEH Travel would be big on cruise because once you get into it, there's just, there's a ship for everybody. And Oceania, I don't want to say it's a new kid on the block, but we've started working really closely with Oceania over the last few years. It's a beautiful product. Mm-hmm. So tell us who's Oceania part of, because they're not just Oceania Cruises.
Yeah, so again, like you said, we're a relatively new cruise line. We're not new kids on the block, but we have been around for about, 24, 25 years now. We're part of the Norwegian Cruise Line group of holdings. So within our portfolio, we have our sister brands, Norwegian Cruise Line, Oceania Cruises and Regent Seven Seas, although obviously very, very different, and each brands. One has its own attributes. And obviously an incredible product, incredible opportunity, like you said, to have a cruise that is unique and different.
And sits within the luxury
It does. We sit within the luxury brand. Yeah.
And was it August time? What we in now? October. I think it was August. We did the launch.
We did Oceania Allura. It was in July.
Yeah. It was absolutely incredible.
It was.
So thank you so much for taking myself and my husband away for a few days.
No, it was good. And we had some lovely dinner conversations and lovely evenings on board. And I'm glad you got to experience the product and see it firsthand with what really is luxury. And I think that's the thing. It's those picking those luxury elements. And one of the things that we always say is when we're out and about talking to partners and consumers, your customers as well, is what does luxury mean to you? Everybody's going to have a different perception of it.
Absolutely.
But if you pick those nuances around that experience and go, well, it's space, it's comfort, it's value, those are the things that really do make it feel more special and unique. Yeah.
What was interesting, I said at the start, there's no such thing as a free lunch, and on board Allura, whilst it was an amazing trip, we did some work events as well, and we sat with the senior management team, and I just loved how reactive they are to what the customers want. And things have changed a lot over the last few years with Oceania, as they've started to find their real niche and, you know, what does luxury look like? What's important to customers? But one of the big things was the food. The food was absolutely insane.
Yeah, no, you're right. And this is the thing. Look, if you're going to have a product, you've got to be able to talk, okay? And we're that confident with our value and our offerings on board. So the three things that really stand out to Oceania Cruises is number one, the food. We are the finest cuisine at sea, and it's something that we really are proud about. Two is our ships. We are small ship luxury. So that is always down to the customers, our crew to staff ratio. I mean, on average, we have no more than 1,250 guests with 800 crew across our entire fleet, and we have 8 ships in total. So we're not big, but we can go big. But what we're saying is that experience, the space, the comfort, what's for you is all there, and you can go off and find your own little niche. And then thirdly, it's the award-winning itineraries. So we go to bespoke created ports, beautiful off-the-beaten-path destinations where some of our big ships just not able to get to. So it's almost like that mini luxury experience, if you want to do that.
Yeah, and all the three things combined makes it a really fantastic offering.
Yeah, it does.
The food was just, you know, every night was just insane. The Italian restaurant, I've never been on a cruise before, and I've been on some beautiful ships, that there was an olive oil menu.
Yes, there was, wasn't it? Because I think that's when we had dinner that evening, and we were talking about, and everyone's like, well, do we get bread on the table? And I'm like, well, we should do. And obviously you want to experience. So it's the artisan of food, isn't it? And I think that's what makes it so special. And the food is incredible there. And I think we had the Dover sole and the lobster and how they filled it all for you.
Yes,
we literally ordered everything for the table.
But I mean, who knew you needed an olive oil menu? No. I didn't. I mean, I do enjoy nice olive oils, but the waiter was able to ask me what I was having to eat. What we paired the balsamic with the
oils, wasn't it?
With the beautiful wines
and the fresh bread. It's like freshly prepared.
It's carb heaven. It really was. And one of the colleagues that was with us, she was gluten free. And what was lovely was she also wasn't just given a gluten-free roll, she was given a gluten-free bread menu as well. So dietary requirements are obviously very well catered for on the ship.
We can cater for that. And I think in advance, if we know what the dietary request is, now we have vegan menus, we have restaurants on board that we can kind of recreate the menu with. For example, Aquamar Kitchen, which is a wellness focused restaurant. I don't know if you had the chance to go in there. That's something we're seeing a lot of people going in. It's don't know. It's difficult to say the like. Is it indulgence over choice, or is it like you want to have the same meal but feel like you want less calories? But people are eating healthier and smarter now, and that's a really nice concept. But I don't think you should compromise from the food.
Was such a lovely experience, because you're right. People are much more foodie now than they ever have. So cruise lines have had to react to that. But they also are looking for healthier choices. Yeah. So at lunchtime, you could go into Aquamar Kitchen and have beautiful, protein smoothies or avocado and poached eggs, and really small portions. but you felt that you were having
and it's wholesome, nutritious food, isn't it? I mean, even like the Buddha bowls and the poke bowls and the yellowfish taco tunas that we have, it's all served for fresh to perfection. And that's the thing with all the food elements on board, because we're really, really confident about our food and we can source those fresh produce. We can carry the fresh produce on board. We can uplift it from some of the destinations we go to. Our galleys were designed for that. And I think we have the largest galleys that allow us to kind of carry extra produce and really kind of bring the product to life with the flavour, the food, the destinations you go to. And yeah, great.
So if you're listening and you're a foodie, then with no hesitation, I could recommend Oceania. And before we move on to talk about other things, the bars, oh my goodness, the cocktail bars were just amazing. And I've forgotten what one of them's called.
So we have Martinis, which is our cocktail lounge. So that's very much like your Manhattan, New York style cabaret
so
bar.
I think, was it that one?
And then we have a new bar that we introduced on board Oceania Vista and Oceania Allura, and that's called the Founders Bar.
That was the one.
And that's where you get the mixology and the bubble guns and the
like
different
every
flavours.
night something different.
It is.
And it was a real experience as well. It wasn't just about drinking the cocktail. They were really passionate about it.
Isn't it, as well?
So it was great. So food and drink, you're absolutely catered for. And the ships, we talked about this, there's 8 ships in the fleet.
There is indeed,
what are the sizes of the ships?
In terms of customers or in terms of tonnage?
Well, I would say because customers, number of customers.
So we've got 4 small ships, which we call our regatta class ships, and they hold 670 customers with 400 crew. We then have 4 mid-sized ships, which were obviously Oceania Marina and Oceania Riviera, and those joined us in 2011 and 2012. And they hold 1,250 customers and 800 crew. And our newest in our fleet is our Allura class ships, which are Oceania Vista that joined us in May 2023, I want to say. And then we have Oceania Allura, who joined us obviously in July this year. And they both have 1,200 customers with 800 crew. So, 8 in total. The future
really nice size ships.
Is growing. Exciting times ahead for us, and absolutely, like you said, beautiful size ships, perfect mid-size ships there to still give you that personal space, the experience on board, the food, the lounges,
the entertainment.
Entertainment.
It's a smaller ship in terms of what is out there, because there's some really massive ships. You don't realise how small the ship is until you see it next to one of the big bad boys. But when you're on board the ship, it doesn't feel like a small ship because there's lots of choice. The entertainment was absolutely phenomenal as well on the ship. So it had a lot of tick boxes. It's not. Don't think because it's a small ship, there's not the same offering there is.
You're right there. And a lot of people think that, you're going to be smaller, there's not going to be anything on board. I mean, what was it like on some of the days there was only, 800, 900 of us on board when we did the inaugural sailing or the showdown sailing when you joined us.
It was great.
But there were still lots of areas that you could go off. I mean, even when you're coming on board, we have the string quartets, we have the classical music, martinis, you've got the pianists and the cocktail lounges, the live music. You've then got Horizons, which is where we spent a lot of our time in the evening. And that's one of my favourite places at 4:00 every day. And I think you did do the afternoon tea, didn't you?
We had to see it.
And we do a sumptuous afternoon tea, 4:00 every day, absolutely beautiful, decadent cakes.
White glove experience.
Yeah. And then the evening, that turns into an entertainment venue with live music. There's even karaoke. Every ship has a lounge as well, where we have entertainment programs on board. So we will get guest speakers on. We have our Oceania entertainment team, and they'll do cabaret-style performances. Yeah, I think
entertainment was very good.
Entertainment is varied. There's something for everybody. And if you don't want that, there is so much space still, to go and relax and enjoy in some of the beautiful coves and areas. I mean, even when we go on board and we get to go off and take you guys on for the day and show your customers or do our agent ship visits, I'll see little areas. Oh my God, I didn't realise that was there.
Yeah.
But that's what's nice. that you can go off and find that little area.
Yeah. One of my favourite areas was the coffee lounge.
The baristas?
Yeah. Just to go up and get your favourite, you know, cortado, flat white, whatever your coffee taste is. And what have you?
Yeah.
And really hot days, because we were sailing and it was very hot. You could sit inside and have the aircon, or you can sit outside and be scorched, whatever your choice.
It's a beautiful experience. I mean, baristas is open every day from 6 till 6, so you're included value.
I think they need to open it later. That's my feedback, because I like a wee coffee late at night as well.
Well, we'll do it just for you.
Yes,
just
absolutely.
For you.
But you can get coffee elsewhere, not just
coffee.
baristas.
Look, room service is complimentary. You've got some of the lounges depending on what stateroom you're in. And again, if you pick up the phone and call your concierge team or your cabin attendants, they'll bring it for you. There's plenty of other venues that you can go off and explore. But yeah, baristas is great because...
And then opposite baristas was the...
bakery? Yes. Well, that's what I was just going to say. So baristas is great because...
We must stop talking about food. I'm getting hungry.
We've got on our Allura class ship, so Oceania Vista was the first one where we actually introduced a fresh bakery on board. So as well as having, obviously, your morning coffee, breakfast, whatever you want, there's nothing like a perfect mille-feuille or a fresh crepe or a waffle or a donut.
Oh, stop.
So you've got obviously the bakery that will give you that. But what we did this year on Oceania Allura, we elevated it that little bit more, and we actually introduced a fresh creperie and boulangerie on board on Oceania Allura. So
and I had to try it just to see it.
The bakery, baristas, and the waffles. Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
But we've talked a lot about food, and that, you know...
But do you see how it just keeps coming back to the food?
But that's what I think, you know, people think about cruising as, oh no, I'm going to gain £5 in a week. And whilst, yes, you absolutely can in a cruise because you can eat from morning till night, that's why Aquamar Cafe, I think, is a really nice addition, because you can still enjoy the really nice dining experience without having to put all the extra calories in.
But even in all the other restaurants as well, look, we can... We change our menus every fortnight, okay? There's so many different venues that you've got food included. So our specialty dining is included. So you've got Red Ginger, which is a beautiful Pan-Asian restaurant. You've got Toscana that you mentioned, the Italian. You've got our classic American steakhouse, which is Polo Grill. As well as that, you've got the Grand Dining Room and our Terrace Cafe. So it's al fresco dining, indoor and outdoor. And if you want to do something different, then the Waves Grill Bar is also another addition. And that's on all of our ships, which is your classic American pool bar, really nice food, salads, lobster rolls, burgers, choice of menus as well that change around.
It's all about choice, isn't it?
And then
customers...
in the evening, it turns into an onboard stone-baked pizzeria. So you have got that casual, relaxed atmosphere as well. And it's that choice.
Yeah. So let's start talking about destinations.
Yes.
Where do Oceania go? Or where do they not go? That might be easier.
Well, we go everywhere. We have a global reach of over 600 different destinations across 7 continents, from North America, South America, Asia, the Mediterranean, South Pacific, Australia, Alaska.
Pretty much everywhere.
Take your pick.
Yeah.
We'll get you there. And what's so special about our destinations is they're hand-picked from those 3 values: the food, the finest food at sea, the award-winning destinations, and the itineraries on our ships, because we will look at those destinations for us that our clients want to go to, where, again, as I said, some of the larger ships just can't get to. So when we talk about Caribbean, for example, we'll go to places like Gustavia, St. Bart's, which is something new. When we talk about the Mediterranean, a lot of our itineraries have early morning. In fact, across all destinations, we have early morning arrivals and late night departures, more overnight ports included. Our
Customers are looking for that now. They want more
that.
Destination, you know, to get immersed in the destination. They don't want just 4 hours in the destination. So, you know, when I'm looking at itineraries for clients, it's about those early morning arrivals and late night departures, so that they can, you know, not just dine on the ship, they can go off and dine and land and really get to experience and I think that's great. So.
And it is, you're right, because also as well, somebody who's never been before and they're like, oh, I don't know if it's for me, but they want to try something different, go off and explore. Come back and then utilise the facilities that are there. The overnight ports are fantastic as well, because when you're in a destination that you've never been before and you're overnight, it really does give you 2 full days to explore and enjoy that. And then you're looking forward to the next port. So typically we have on a 7 to 10 day cruise, we'll have probably 1 sea day, maybe, more ports for you to enjoy, more early morning arrivals, late night departures as well. So yeah, enjoy.
And for people who are new to cruise, I think that's, a real thing to highlight is you're not going to be doing lots of sailing. You're going to be doing lots of ports.
Yeah.
And for new to cruise, once you've been cruising, you realise that sea days are actually one of my favourites. I love a sea day where there's nobody, no time scale at all. You can literally just do your own thing and just literally go with the flow.
And it's nice as well because when there are more destinations or ports included, and we are doing those early morning arrivals and late night departures, in the perfect world, you could get up, have a lovely breakfast, relax on board the ship, maybe go and get a treatment in the spa, and then get off late afternoon. And then look, there's no queues. Okay, and that's the best thing with 1,200 customers. You can be off the ship in less than 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
We provide most of our 86% of our itineraries include all our shuttle buses as well. So off you go. If it's a little bit further afield, jump on our complimentary shuttle bus into the town, do something, and then come back.
So shuttle buses are included,
Yes.
Which other cruise lines are available, but not necessarily include everything that Oceania. So from a value from money perspective, I do think it's one of the best value propositions for customers who are looking for a luxury cruise line because the specialty dining is included, the shuttle buses are included, and gratuities are included.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, depending on what the offer is, you'll include the drinks.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about the drinks because that's something we get asked a lot about. One of the tick boxes for me with Oceania, you can include it or not include it. And if you've got a couple who maybe one person drinks and the other, you're the only cruise company that I believe does this, and I think it's a great offering, that if the husband wants a drinks package but the wife doesn't, or vice versa, then it's all about choice.
It is. And that's the key thing. I think it's the value of choice, or the luxury by choice.
Yeah.
You're always going to find somebody wants one thing and some things don't other. So talking about what's included on our value fare, so every customer, irrespective of what sailing they book, they're going to get the gratuities prepaid, they're going to get their Wi-Fi included, they're going to get their soft drinks included, all their all-day teas, coffees, specialty coffees as well, juices and smoothies. So baristas every day for coffee if you want, it's all there.
And that's included
and that's included as standard. Yeah. They're also going to get their gourmet specialty dining. So all of our specialty dining venues are included. Their fitness classes and yogas are included as well. So they can access our solariums. They can access our gymnasiums free of charge. And we also include laundry service as well. So we have self-service laundrettes included as well for them at no charge.
And all these things for other cruise lines, when you start to add them into what you're paying, that's what I'm saying. I think it's one of the best value propositions in the luxury space.
And you can vouch for this as well, because chances are, look, when you're going to make someone's booking, unless you have that relationship with the customer and you know what they want, but you've got to ask that question, have you cruised before? What do you want to have included? So thinking about that value proposition is really important, because what's going to happen 24 hours later, you're going to get that phone call and go, hi Linda, it's Cal. Can I add on a drinks package? Can I add on some dining options? Whereas if you had that conversation at the beginning with the customer and said, look, did you know that there was a cruise line that include all that there? It's going to open up more opportunities for you, and the customer's going, oh, I didn't realise that. Well, can we have a look at it as a comparison? But again, it's that choice. So we do allow customers to make it inclusive. So we're not an all-inclusive cruise line, okay?
But that's not what customers want, and you've listened to customers.
That's the choice, and that's what we're seeing those customers asking for. Can I add extra on? So we're giving them the opportunity to add more on, so they can add on a drinks package if they want to.
And it's not expensive. Is it $45, something like that?
So our drinks package is $79 per person per day, and that's called our Prestige Drinks Package. But you just said a few seconds ago about from time to time we'll have different promotions. So we do have promotions. Currently, all of our sailings will give you the choice. So all of those values is what we called Your World Included. That's what's always included. And they can elevate that experience a little bit more. And what we are doing is we're giving customers the choice to add on an extra. So at the minute, they can add on our house beverage package,
which is beers, wines,
which is beer,
meals.
wine by the glass for lunch and dinner. And they can have that across the dining venues on the ship throughout the timings of when that is available. And they can upgrade that then if they want to to a fully inclusive drinks package, which is our prestige drinks package, and turn that into their all-inclusive package.
Spirits, cocktails.
Correct. So spirits, cocktails, unlimited
Everything
throughout
really,
the day.
yeah.
And that would be an upgrade fee starting from, I believe, about $40 per
Which
person
is
per day.
absolutely
About £35.
brilliant, isn't it?
Okay. Or if they don't drink,
Which
and they
some
don't
people
want
just
to,
don't want drink
some
now,
people don't have them.
and they don't like having been Scottish. They do not like paying for something they're not going to get value
No.
for. So you've got another alternative.
We offer them the chance to have a shore excursion credit. So depending on the length of the cruise, we will give them a shore excursion credit per person, which they can use to pre-book those shore experiences or culinary experiences that we have on board. And you can book them in advance, or you can book them on board the ship. Correct.
Yeah. And I get it's all about choice. It's about giving the customer back the choice. So, back in the day when, the all-inclusive cruise concept came in, it was about putting in shore excursions, putting in drinks package. But at the end of the day, customers are paying for that. And if they don't want it, then why should they pay for it? And that's why I keep going back to the best all-inclusive or the best luxury offering in the market, because you can have as much included as you want or take it away, and then you're not paying for it.
And some of these customers are well-experienced travellers. They may have been to that destination
And they don't want any
before,
shore excursion.
and they don't want to do it again. So if they had the choice to do something different, I think that's what makes it so special. That's what makes it so unique, to say, look, absolutely everything is included, but what if you had the choice to do this? What if you wanted to increase that experience? And that's what we're seeing a lot of people are doing. They're coming on board where they want that space, the comfort, the luxury element, a beautiful product with a fantastic crew to staff ratio, where we have one chef for every 10 guests. Do you know what I mean? So it's wonderful that they can experience that a little bit more.
And once we get guests on board Oceania, what we are finding is the repeat guests is very, very high. And we encourage our customers to book whilst they're on board, because the offering on board is, you get a little bit enhanced, if you book when you're on board. So we're all for that, saying to our customers, please take advantage of that, because the booking comes back to us anyway. But yeah, we're getting a lot of repeat business, which is nice. So you're doing something right, that's for sure. Let's talk a little bit about the things you can get on board, which I thought were great. So cookery lessons,
Yes.
art classes. I'm not a Picasso by any stretch, but what a great thing to do when you're on board a cruise.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I think this is where it's always that, again, choice, isn't it? So it doesn't have to feel stuffy. It doesn't have to feel like, oh my God, there's nothing to do. Now, every day you'll get your currents in your room. That will tell you the daily agenda, what time you're going to be in what port. But there'll be lots of activities there that you can do. But yeah, absolutely. So Oceania Cruises, we were the first cruise line to introduce the onboard cooking school. Absolutely incredible experience. I don't know whether you got the chance to do it on board Allura.
But
the feedback was fantastic. So you get to work with the culinary team, put the apron on, and you've got
I've got the apron.
cooking
Does
station.
that count? I've got an Oceania apron.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll bring you a hat next time, and then you can cook for me. But yeah, it's wonderful, and absolutely everybody loves it. It's one of our top-selling experiences where people want to do it.
They want to do it, absolutely.
The best thing I always say is when you're in Greece and you're learning how to cook tzatziki, when you're in that country, it's magic, isn't it? You get to really bring it to life. So the cooking school is fantastic. We've got that available to do on board. You've got the artist loft, which is fantastic.
That was brilliant.
That's great fun. Yeah. So you don't have to be a budding artist. You can learn to paint. You can learn about art. We have guest speakers on board. We usually actually have a resident artist who is available there, and they'll do the classes together. And one of the ones that we're seeing also a lot of people doing at the moment is our Link Digital Centre. So,
yeah, I was going to mention that. That's a great thing.
Yeah, it's a new one. I mean, everybody's got like internet cafes and things on board, and when you've got connectivity issues, you go over. But what we've done with the Link Digital Centre is we're starting to offer classes on board. So at the minute, social media, it's way up there, isn't it? TikToks and Instagrams and videos that people are doing are really taking off. But there are some people that still aren't confident in that.
There's that generation where they want to connect with their grandchildren
Yes.
or, their families, and they just don't know how to.
I have it every day with my mum. I mean, I'll go and see her and she's like, they're following me, they're watching me. I'm like, mother, no one's watching you.
No, they are. They actually are.
But she wants, get me on that Facebook. I'm like, it's not called the Facebook, it's just Facebook. So I have to teach her sometimes. But imagine if I took her on board an Oceania cruise, right? And it can be done. And I can send her to the Link to Digital Centre. They'll give you the iPad, they'll give you a camera, they'll rent it out for you, and you can learn how to do digital classes. They'll even show you, and this is a great tip, by the way, how to take photos of food. And there are so many videos and pictures of people taking food and of whatnot. And I think we took some on the table. But the trick they say is turn your camera or your phone upside down.
Oh.
And then take the picture.
That's a tip I didn't know. There you go.
And when you do it, it changes the perspective of the lens. It just makes it a little bit more sharper.
You are a budding photographer,
I
though,
am.
I have to say.
I did buy my camera, didn't I, that I took with me on Allura, and absolutely, I love it. It's great, taking pictures and then editing them. But it's little tips like that that you can learn on board.
And you're on holiday, so the perfect time to learn. So I say that generation where they do want to connect with their family, but...
And look, we're giving you free Wi-Fi for 2 devices, so vlog away.
And
tell
again,
them how wonderful your cruise is.
A lot of other cruise lines will charge you a lot of money because Wi-Fi at sea is expensive. Yeah. So the fact that it's included for you for up to 2 devices.
And
I think it's really clever, cruise companies giving free Wi-Fi, because from a social media perspective, people are going to be sharing their experiences. So it's free marketing for you. Why would you not want people sharing your amazing food or, pictures of them in the art studio?
Reach home and say, look, I'm having a wonderful cruise. It's there. It's the day we live in now, isn't it? It's so much has changed. And I think when you are doing, again, like we said, the choice, and you're giving people, if you give something back to somebody, they're only going to keep coming back and wanting to elevate their experiences that little bit more.
Yeah. So we're out of time again. I just can't believe how 30 minutes just goes.
Quick.
I know. But before we finish, anything new that we should be look out for in Oceania coming? Anything new? Any new destinations? Or just watch this space?
There was some. We've got some great, exciting times ahead. We're really excited with our promotions and our campaigns that we've got, and there's some great opportunities there. Like I said, really excited about the Your World Included and the value and the choice. And obviously then we are really excited to share that we have our a lot more stuff coming your way. So yes, definitely.
And some new ships as
and
well.
We have some new ships. So we have Oceania Sonata.
What a lovely name for a cruise ship.
Which will be our newest ship coming in 2027. So again, really excited about what that's going to bring and can't wait to have you on board.
I know, and customers love a new ship. They love to be part of history. The inaugural season is always really popular for cruises. So is it on sale already? Or
not just yet?
Not yet.
We'll be releasing more details about that fairly soon. But can't wait. Again, absolutely
always
fantastic
moving forward.
Product. Beautiful ships. We have Oceania Allura, who is currently doing our Mediterranean sailings, and she'll be back for Mediterranean in 2026 as well, with some great itineraries for you.
And can personally recommend Allura. I absolutely loved it. It blew me away, and it was just so nice for me to go and actually experience. It's all very well you telling me, Cal, that what's this, this luxury offering, and the food's amazing. And once you've actually experienced it, I can now, hand on heart, tell people it's the right choice for them. So thank you. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
You're welcome.
I wanted to get you back on because there's so much more to talk about.
No.
So
anytime. More than happy.
Appreciate it. So thank you very much for joining us again on Let's Talk About Travel podcast, and look forward to the next episode.